You are now entering the world of a movie review. A world full of drama, joy, ridicule, movie spoilers, unpopular opinions, and adult humor for as far as the eye can see. Welcome to an evening at the movies.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to your favorite movie review based podcast. This is an evening at the movies, the podcast where we eat the stale popcorn, we drink the watered down sodas, we talk about all of our favorite movies and why we love them. Um, yeah, I'll save any more details to that for a little bit later in the episode. But before we can get to all of that, though, we are joined by a very special guest on this incredible live Wednesday morning. We have Josh back with us from Toontastic Journeys and the I Did Not Make These Rankings podcast network. And, well, I'll let Josh explain everything that Josh does because the list is long and distinguished. So, welcome
Hey,
back,
what's
Josh.
up there? Thank you, man. I'm happy to be back. Excited to be here today. My name's Josh, aka J Time. I am part of the I Did Not Make These Rankings podcast network, along with Kasey there, and also have a podcast called Toontastic Journeys, where we recreate that nostalgia of Saturday morning and weekday afternoon cartoons by reviewing both old and new. Check that out. You can find it anywhere you can find podcasts. And then I'm also with the Wacky Bunch known as Masturbators, and we blind rank and talk about all kinds of stuff. So check that one out too. And I love talking movies, so I'm excited for today.
Uh, I'm not going to lie. I love blind ranking stuff. So, I am very happy tomorrow night to be on Masturbators with a bunch of you fools from the network so that
Oh
we
well,
can
especially the topic.
heartfully discuss Harvey's black and white movie choices.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun one. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, Harvey has some great taste in movies. He also
Hmm.
has some tastes that aren't necessarily for everybody. So I'm kind of curious to see which of his 100 movies pop up on the randomizer, so that we have to stick them in those 50 spots.
Hmm.
And on top of it,
Yeah.
I know how shit can get, especially when you have Dre and Harvey going back and forth over what's a great movie and what's not a great movie, and uh, yeah, that's going to be a fun 90-ish
Oh, we're gonna
minutes
have fun with it.
tomorrow night.
We're gonna have fun with it. There's gonna be some debating. Harvey's gonna be very disappointed at times because certain movies that he highly ranks are probably gonna go low because you know how CJ and DeAndre get, well, and myself too at times. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time. I think we got a good group of people coming on. I'm looking forward to it, man. And Harvey's
Yeah,
a fun guy.
well, Harvey is a lot of fun, and we love having Harvey on the show. And Harvey will be back actually in not next week, but the week after.
I
So,
saw that. What do you got?
so with all of he picked the Woody Allen movie that we've got coming up. So
Oh, you got to go Woody Allen. Interesting.
yeah, I think it's Match Point.
Okay.
So I've never seen it, so I'm willing to give it a shot because I mean it can't be any worse than one of the last movies that he picked and recommended.
What was that?
Supposedly the number one greatest A24 horror movie of all time.
Interesting. And what did he think it was?
Well, it,
Midsummer?
yeah, oh,
Oh,
big
okay.
time. I mean, that wasn't the reason why he picked it. He picked it because he thought it was right up our wheelhouse. which,
Uh-huh.
for those of you who watched the
It
episode, you'll
is.
know,
I mean,
you know, we didn't have a whole lot to say about it, but at the same time, it's one of those movies that, especially since I've been going back and rewatching some of the A24 movies,
hmm
I really solidly developed the opinion that A24 likes to push the boundaries and make you uncomfortable.
absolutely.
Midsummer definitely qualifies in that category.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Is it as strong as some other
Otherwise
stuff out
known
there?
as no, I the top 5 movies that I saw on Google for horror movies,
Hmm
A24 horror movies, I think they're all fairly close quality wise. So, you know, a lot of it just depends upon your voters as to what they think is going to qualify as this level of greatness over this level of greatness. And I don't think there's a whole big gap in between Midsummer and Hereditary, and X was up there, and things like that. So
Yeah, I agree. I don't think
there was
there's
one that
like
was a lot lower.
anything. Hmm
I was just gonna, there's one that was ranked a lot lower than I thought it was going to be, but you know,
Oh yeah, which one?
personally, Heretic,
I
the
feel
Blueberry
like that
Pies.
movie came out, and I feel like it's been vastly underrated. Like everybody's like, "Oh,
I
that's only Hugh Grant." I thought that movie was phenomenal, but not too many people like it. But there's a lot of talking in it.
It's a whole lot of talk and a lot less action. It's
hmm
very dialogue driven,
Very
especially in the
much.
beginning where they're literally sitting in the den, living room, whatever you want to call it, and it seems like that scene keeps going and going and going. It's like
hmm
something happened here, please.
Yeah, and I think the pacing threw people off. I personally liked it because I like that horror where the tension just ratchets slowly, and it's
Yeah,
got you like, wait, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Is the wife the bad guy? Where's the wife at? Wait, and you're just sitting there constantly like, what if, wondering what's gonna happen, and then boom, things start happening. However, I will agree, it took a long time for things to really start happening in that movie. But once it gets going, it's great. I think Hugh
yeah.
put on one hell of a performance, man. Like I was like, this is Hugh
I
Grant?
personally think he's an underrated actor to begin with, but that's just my own personal
Oh yeah.
opinion.
No, I'm right there with you. I feel
So,
like that stint he did doing romantic comedies kind of hurt him because he got put into this like pretty boy role of like not having that much substance. And
four
he
weddings and a
has
funeral,
substance.
9 months, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Well,
before we get going, though, um, I do want to say I'm not going to get into all the personal details because I don't know how much she has shared, and
mhm.
that's it's not our place to share it on the show anyway. But I just want to shout out and say thank you to Josh for stepping in this week to help cover for Amanda, who is dealing with some personal stuff and probably won't be back with us again until the beginning of August. So, um, with all of that said, I decided because the next 3 musicals were Amanda's picks, so we're just going to scrap musical month and we'll pick it up again at a later date and get those movies picked up. So, what we've got is 3 different special guests the next 3 weeks, and each one of them got to pick the movie that we get to do. So next week, Shanna's going to be with us, and we're going to do Stardust. Like we said a minute ago, Harvey's going to be here in 2 weeks, and we're going to do Match Point. But it is time to get too fast and too furious I mean, it's actually in a way long overdue because it's been a while since we did the first one. But
Mm.
Josh is here for Too Fast, Furious today.
Oh yeah, I'm here. I'm ready. I'm excited. You know, if you watch my first one that we did on Eating at the Movie covering The Fast and the Furious, you know this is my stuff right here. I love these movies, even the ones people don't like like Tokyo Drift. We'll get
So,
to it one day. I enjoy.
oh, hopefully, hopefully there's not as big of a gap in between Too Fast and Tokyo Drift.
Hopefully not.
So,
Hopefully not.
but uh, spoiler alert though, a couple. I don't remember if this episode has been released yet or not, but I know if you go back and look at one of the either just previous or soon to be released episodes of Masturbators, Kendra posed the question to Josh about whether he will be going down to Southern California and experiencing the Fast and the Furious
The ride.
at Universal Studios.
Yeah, buddy.
So, if I remember correctly, Josh said at some point, yes, it will be happening.
Oh, absolutely will be happening. I don't know when. I'm not gonna
Well, I mean,
rush, but I'm gonna make it there.
I mean that for Josh, that would be the equivalent of like me and finally going to Disney World or Disneyland so that I can experience a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, buddy. Build a
Because
lightsaber.
I love me. Yeah, well, I would love to build me my own lightsaber. I'm not lying. It scares me to think about how much that would cost.
I know. They're like you gotta go and load it for bear, man.
Because that damn mouse is all about getting as much money out of your pocket as he can get.
Yup. Yup.
So, all of that aside, though, we
Mhm.
hope everything is going well for Amanda, and she
Absolutely.
is in our thoughts and prayers the next few weeks, and we look forward to her return whenever she's ready to come back, whether it's a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks down the road, whatever. But um, for those of you who have been here for the last couple months, you know we have a new game that we like to play with people on an evening at the movies, especially when it's their first time back since we started doing the game. It's
Oh,
called
y'all do
Keep
a game now.
Kill. Yeah, it's called Keep Kill Reboot. So
Okay.
basically, it's our version of Fuck Mary Kill.
All right.
So I've got three separate rounds for Josh. Um, one of which deals with TV, one of which deals with movies, one of which deals with a special category designed just for you.
All right. Cool.
Um, we'll be saving that one for last, though.
All right.
So, your first category, we're going to go with movies. So, if anybody's watching and doesn't know the rules, I'm going to give Josh three things, and each one of them, he has to keep, kill, or reboot each item on the list. So, um, you'll get the hang of it once it gets going. But and I know Josh has seen the videos before and he knows what Fuck Mary Kill is. So, all right, first up, movies. We have Heretic, X, Hereditary, Keep, Kill, Reboot.
Ooh, that's a rough one. We just talked about Heritage, and based on how I feel about that, that's the keeper, which leaves me in a precarious situation because that means we're rebooting or killing either Heretic or X.
Hereditary.
Yeah, Hereditary, not Heretic, Hereditary. I wasn't the biggest fan of X, to be honest. Like, it was good, I enjoyed it, I like the old school vibe, and I honestly liked it more than Pearl. Um, I can't really say I liked it more than Maxine because Maxine was such a departure from the other two films. I liked that everything kind of stood
Hmm.
on its own though. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and kill X, and then we can reboot Hereditary because that film I feel like was good and to this day has a really disturbing scene that just I was like, what that happened? Okay. um, Tony Collette
Would the
killed it,
scene you're
but I
referring
think
to involve a stop sign?
it would involve a stop sign. Yeah, that part of the movie was just like, oh shit, oh okay. I'm like, maybe he
Yeah.
was
It,
dreaming, and then she screams. I'm like, oh nope, wasn't a dream. Yeah, that
yeah.
shit was fucked up,
That
real fucked up.
and it comes out of nowhere. You're not expecting it to happen either.
No, you're not. You're not. And so for that reason, we will go ahead and reboot that. And they can do some kind of twist with it to keep people on their toes.
Solid choices. I mean, they're all your choices anyway, so there's nothing wrong about any of them. But all right, second round. You ready?
Let's do it.
We got TV shows. Arrow, The Flash, The Curveball, The Big Bang Theory, Keep Kill Reboot.
Fuck. Oh shit, dude. Now see, this one's gonna be hard. So I love all three of these shows. Oh, I don't want to kill anything. Um, it's been well established that we here at the network are all big fans of the Big Bang Theory. Many of us consider it to be one of the best, if not the best, sitcom of all time. So I definitely can't kill it, which means we gonna go ahead and oh man, we'll keep it. Oh, I really.
I was gonna say because if you reboot that one, that's almost another long spirited discussion about okay, well if you're rebooting it, then who do you stick in those different roles
Right, right.
for a reboot?
And see, that's my problem. It's perfectly casted for the most part. So it'd be really hard to go back and try and recast it. And there's no need for a
Yeah.
reboot. Like, yeah. Now, that said, kill the Flash or kill Arrow. Reboot the Flash or reboot Arrow. Which is tough because Arrow ran or walked so the Flash could run super fast. Run, Barry, run. Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like The Flash surpassed The Arrow as the best Arrowverse TV show. It's not my personally favorite best Arrowverse TV show because my personal favorite Arrowverse TV show is Legends of Tomorrow. Show's just wacky as shit, and I love it for that. But it's damn good. So we're gonna reboot Arrow. Um, not it needs to be
I'm not
rebooted,
gonna
but
lie,
it wouldn't hurt.
Legends of Tomorrow almost made the list.
Yeah, I'm glad it didn't. That'd have been tough because I mean, there's no show like it. When you can have a fight with all the characters, and the song is the song playing in the background during the fight, and yet it's
Hmm.
just right. It works. And it makes it epic. Like who does that? Legends of Tomorrow did that. So we are going to officially reboot the Flash, or not the Flash, but yeah, we're gonna reboot the
Arrow.
Flash and kill Arrow. That's what we're gonna do. I said that wrong. We're keeping the Flash, um, or not keeping the Flash. We're booting the Flash, and then we're gonna kill Arrow.
And then keeping the Big Bang Theory.
Oh, absolutely keeping the Big Bang Theory.
All right.
So if we rebooted
Are
it,
you ready?
maybe Rosh would have a girlfriend, and be happy at the end of the show instead of the bullshit that they did to him. But that's for another episode of another TV show, another podcast.
All right. Are you ready for the main event?
Let's get it on. What has CJ helped you concoct?
All right. So the category is animated TV series.
Okay.
We're going with the Boondocks,
Mm-hmm.
Batman Beyond,
Oof.
Steven Universe.
Oh. Oh. CJ, you son of a bitch. Oh shit.
See,
Boondock.
the problem was is I knew you love cartoons enough that it was a good category, but it's like I really wanted something that would really make you want to say, "God damn it!" and fuck whoever put this list together because that's the joy and fun of this game is really fucking with the person who's playing.
Well, you damn well succeeded. Because these are three shows that I very much love. Boondocks, fantastic show, one of the funniest things on TV. Quoted all the time, makes me laugh so much. Wonderful show. Uh, Batman Beyond, boy, boy, boy. I love me some Terry McGinnis. I love Batman, but Batman Beyond was just great. Um, and then Steven Universe, man. This show, I feel like a lot of people missed out on it. A lot of people out there don't know what it is. It's hard to get people into it because it's so silly at times. But by the time it gets that third season and the storyline gets rolling, it is one of the greatest shows ever. Uh, yeah, I hate to do it this way, but I'm gonna have to do it this way. Um, we are going to go ahead and we are going to kill Batman Beyond. I hate it. It sucks, but hey, at least Batman Bruce Wayne is still out there. But we're killing Batman Beyond. We are going to keep Steven Universe because it's perfect the way it is. I love it. The whole story. Whether you talk about universe, you talk about the movie, or you're talking about Steven Universe future, Lars, all that stuff. We're keeping that. And we will reboot the Boondocks because the Boondocks has been over for a while, but I would love to see it come back. I think it'd be great. Rest in peace, John Witherspoon. His son does his voice though. His son does his voice very good, so they could bring in the son to voice Grandpa. Uh, because it's animated. They can reboot it and have them be like grown as adults too, and that way they'll have to have
Yep.
Grandpa. So there's plenty they can do with it. So that's my choice. Killing Batman is hard as fuck, but it's gotta be done because can't have a roll without the Boondocks or Steven Universe.
So brief little rehash, but the first time we played this game, um, I fucked with Amanda and Kendra at the same
Mhm.
time,
Oh, geez.
and oh yeah, I don't remember. I think one of Kendra's was '90s boy bands, which
Mhm.
she struggled with that one. We all know
Oh, I'm
Kendra and
sure
love
she
Kendra,
did.
and she has a infatuation with '90s pop culture and or boy bands. But the main one that I had for Amanda though was I picked three
Mhm.
different Halloween movies, and she had to keep, kill, reboot. I don't remember which ones it was, but
Interesting.
I know it was three of her absolute favorite Halloween movies of all time.
Oh, I bet she was struggling
She
with that one.
was not impressed in the very least with that one. There was a lot of colorful names thrown at Kasey. I believe asshole, son of a bitch, things of that nature. So good times. I'm not gonna lie. I have plans though going forward for everybody else on the network when they come on. So I got plans already set aside for CJ. I've got plans already set aside for Dre. I've got
Okay. Yeah.
uh, I've got a master plan laid out for when Chansey comes home.
Oh yeah.
His is going to be epic to the point of I can guarantee you there will be meltdowns, there will be name calling, there will be everything. Like he will be ripping his hair out at the root. So stay tuned for that one coming up. Hopefully sooner rather than later.
Looking
So,
forward to it.
all right. Um, so yeah, we do have a movie to get to today, though. Like we said, Too Fast, Too Furious. For anybody who doesn't know, though, Too Fast, Too Furious, released on June 6th, 2003, directed by John Singleton, released by Universal Pictures, had a $76 million budget. Probably the most of that went to having to pay for all the damn cars that were in this movie because that shit is not cheap.
Mm.
Had a $236 million box office. If you have not seen Too Fast, Too Furious, I believe it is only streaming on Prime for the low rate of $3.99 for 2 days, but you have a month to start it. Once you start it, then your 2 days kicks in.
Mm.
But I don't think it's free anywhere. At least
No, it's
I
not.
didn't find it.
It was for a while, but it's not anymore.
Well, I think Peacock had the whole franchise at one point
Mm-hmm.
available on their app. So
Yep, they sure
naturally, I
did.
figured, oh, hey, that's where it's going to be. I pulled up to Peacock and nothing. So fuck the cock. All right. So I have a couple Rotten Tomato scores.
Mm.
I have the tomato meter score for the movie. I have the popcorn meter score for the movie.
All right.
Which one would you like to guess first, sir?
I'm gonna go with the critic meter.
All right. So the tomato meter, I have 160 reviews.
Okay.
And what do you think the critics gave this movie?
Oh, I'm thinking low. Um, Especially it's a sequel. Terrell didn't come back. I'm gonna say they gave it probably somewhere like 35, maybe 38, 40-ish. I'm gonna go officially with 35.
Missed it by that much.
Oh man, what was it?
37%.
It's close. Okay, 37.
Now, the real question, as far as the audience goes, how much did the audience disagree with the critics?
Not by a
200,
ton.
250,000 plus reviews.
Okay.
They gave it a
Let's see. It's the audience. I'm gonna say 60, somewhere in there. So let's go with 65.
missed it by that much.
Was it better than that or less?
Uh, 50%.
Ugh. Oh, that's rough. Damn. Come on, y'all. It wasn't a bad movie. Fuck
I mean, at the same time, we do have a saying in the I Did Not Make These Rankings podcast network.
Rotten
When it comes to
Tomatoes.
always fuck Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh man.
I just saw your comment in the group chat.
Oh yeah. Nah. He's gonna get hurtful
um,
later.
well, I figured it's kind of a little bit early in the morning for him.
Mm.
So, for those of you who have not seen the movie, one, I don't think there's that many of you because evidently most of the world has seen the Fast and the Furious movies.
Hmm.
unless your name is Kasey, who's only seen the first seven. But I will get to the others sooner rather than later, I promise.
In due time. In due time.
I, exactly. I've got time. I mean,
Hmm.
there's still what one movie left to come out.
Yep. One more coming out, and then 4 or 5 TV shows.
Uh-huh. I'll
Yeah,
save my
we'll
opinion
see
on
how
that
that
for a later time. All
works.
right, so I'm going to say usually we're I'm not banking on too many people that haven't seen this movie. How many
Hmm.
times they've seen the movie, that's for them. But um, so if you have not seen the movie though, um, this sequel focuses on ex-police officer Brian O'Connor, damn, who relocates from Los Angeles to Miami to start over, becoming involved in the street racing scene in his new city. Brian befriends car savvy. Um, how do you pronounce the dude's name?
Tej?
Ludicrous Tej.
Yeah, yeah, Tej.
Okay, and Suki, but his competitive streak ends when federal agents apprehend him, and he must enter into a deal with the FBI. Working with new partner Roman Pierce, Brian begins a dangerous mission to take down a powerful drug dealer.
Hmm.
Um, Spoiler alert for all you horny housewives: the drug dealer is one Mr. Rip Wheeler from Yellowstone.
Hmm. Playing Carter Barone. Carter Barone.
Yeah, well, it's definitely a different type of character. I mean, Rip and Carter are at far ends of the
Hmm.
opposite ends of the spectrum. So, all right. So, before we get into the what works and what doesn't work for the movie, um, well, I guess this kind of falls into the what doesn't work for the movie, but I think probably the one thing I struggle with the most with this movie is the fact that in 2003 when it came out, there was something missing from the movie, and
Hmm.
to me, that was Vin Diesel.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I
I get
mean,
that the younger people
mhm.
now are going to be like, well, that's just the way the story was designed and all of that. Actually, that's not the way the story was designed. If you go back and research it, it was designed for Vin to be a part of it all the way through.
Mhm.
But I don't know exactly. I mean, there's going to be two sides to the story, no matter how you look at it. But the studio offered him 25 million to come back for the movie. He turned it down. I don't know if that was all he didn't think the script was great enough to warrant him coming back for, if he wanted more money, whatever the case may be. But to me, the strength of this franchise is absolutely 100% Vin Diesel and Paul Walker together.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously, the last few movies, that's been, you know, taking a huge hit as well. But it's still, especially in the early developing days of the franchise being, you know, The Fast and the Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious, and Tokyo Drift. Me personally, I wanted more Vin Diesel in my story.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of people were disappointed about them not coming back. A lot of people. And supposedly what it was, Vince come out on the record and said that. And who knows if this is BS or what really happened, but he didn't like the script. He felt like instead of being a sequel like a Coppola type sequel, building on the first story and
Hmm.
giving it more, that they did what most action sequels do, and they just took a totally unrelated story, tweaked it, and threw in the characters. And so he didn't want some story, which we ended up getting, and I'm guessing he would have played the Roman role. Him and Brian just doing another heist. He wanted something more cat and mousey. He's gone to say he's regretted that decision, and for the fans, he feels like he should have just stuck it out. But he went on to do the Chronicles of Riddick, which, anybody who's followed Vin Diesel knows the whole Riddick series is kind of his baby. He's always wanted to do some epic sci-fi, fantasy type of thing, and the Chronicles of Riddick were supposed to be that. Uh, we'll have to talk about whether or not it was on a different day, but I'd totally be down to do the Chronicles of Riddick one day. If you guys have done Riddick yet, I don't know. I'd be down to do that too.
Oh, I have
But
thoughts
you're right.
about
I
that
mean,
franchise as well.
yeah, at the end of the day, Fast and Furious, there's three core things: family, racing, and Corona. And we didn't really get the family aspect that much with this film.
I
Vin
don't recall
Diesel,
seeing Corona in this movie either.
yeah, we didn't get Corona. I mean, we got racing. There's plenty of car action, but it was missing those things that truly make it a Fast and Furious movie. I mean, outside of Paul Walker's character, Brian, and the storyline with
Yeah,
him in the cop from the first movie, this could have totally been any other movie. You take out Brian and add some random guy that's just a criminal and take out the FBI component, it's not even a Fast and Furious movie anymore. It's just a buddy criminal racing film.
yeah.
And it almost killed the
Which,
franchise. It did.
yeah, because again, like we were saying, I think people were expecting and wanting certain things that this movie did not deliver on. And if you
Mainly
think
Vin
it
Diesel.
didn't deliver, this one didn't deliver, then tune in for the next movie because even if that one aspect was back for 5 seconds at the end of the movie, it's still
hmm
an hour and 40 some minutes of, again, another movie without Vin Diesel.
Right, right. I mean, it's because of this. This one did so bad that they tried to go in a complete different direction. Even Paul Walker didn't come back. And they wanted to do something different, reboot it, and start doing stories with different characters. And that's when Vin Diesel decided to finally come back. We got that little in shot, but yeah, but it's still a good movie, though. It's still a good movie. I feel like it has its charms, but yeah, that definitely worked against it. Especially Toretto is such a good character, good or bad. He's so imposing. I mean, I love Paul Walker, and Brian's a great character. I love this whole aspect of
Oh, yeah.
are you a good guy pretending to be bad or a bad guy pretending to be good that his character brings. But that first movie, it's Toretto. Toretto makes that movie. He's this mix between badass racer and almost cult-like figure with the way his people follow him, and listen to him. I love that, they show the good, the bad, and the ugly with him in that first movie. Um, you know, he makes the Fast and the Furious franchise what it is.
Oh, Toretto?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So not having him in the movie, and let's be real, like the bad guys in this movie, because he was kind of the main bad guy in the first movie, along with Johnny
Yeah.
Tran. Uh, the bad guys in this movie were all right. Carter Verone was just okay. Yeah, he was crazy. He had the henchmen, and then you had to deal with the FBI people. You know, uh, but he wasn't that strong of a villain. Funny enough, while Vin Diesel decided not to do this movie, Paul Walker actually turned down starring in another movie to do this. And on one hand, it worked out because it's another movie that's one of my favorite movies. But on another hand, man, I'm a little disappointed because I think Paul Walker would have knocked it out the park. But Paul Walker was originally, before he decided to come back for Too Fast and Furious, supposed to be in 2003 slot playing Jim Street. So we would have got that movie without Colin Farrell and had Paul Walker playing that role instead. Honestly, and I feel like that's one of the few times where this happens. I don't think it changes the movie at all. I think replacing Colin Farrell with Paul Walker, you get the
Mhm.
same exact movie, just played a little bit different. It doesn't do. I don't think it drastically changes anything.
No, I would have to tend to agree with you on that one. So, the other side of the coin, though,
Mhm.
what do you feel like absolutely works for this movie? Why do you fall in love with the movie?
It introduced amazing characters. While the villain wasn't very strong, I really like Roman Pierce. You know, Tyrese played Roman Pierce well. Because where Brian's kind of straight, aced, and laid back and calm, Roman is just wild. He was a wild guy, man. And so they play well off of each other. And then you get Tej introduced, Ludacris, one of his first
Ejecto
big
seat.
ejectocito, cuz that's one of my favorite lines in the movie, honestly. That shit is so funny because it's just ridiculous. He built that ejection seat, and then just the way he delivers it, ejectocito, cuz like that shit makes me chuckle every time. But yeah, him and Tej are great. I like those two. You
Yeah.
know, um, and I also feel like this movie does two things that the franchise didn't need. So even though it went off the rails and to pull it back in, and they eventually did. Now the franchise is what we have now, but it did a couple things. One, it cleared Brian's name, you know, through this movie. He finishes what he's doing. He's no longer a fugitive. Because at the start of this movie, he's on the run for helping Ben Dominic Toretto, let Dominic Toretto go. And he's caught. It forces his undercover mission with Roman. So it does that. That's great. And it also helps move him more towards the gray. It helps to keep establishing that, yes, he's a good guy, but he's willing to get his hands dirty and do some bad stuff, you know, in a good guy sense. And
Yeah.
so that helps move the story along more to what we saw in Fast and Furious, the fourth one. However, I also feel like if you were to give me number one and then go straight into number two, or not number two, but number four, you can still kind of tell that story, but I feel like it was a good bridge.
So, yeah, my whole thought process on the situation was, I mean, again, I wanted more Vin Diesel for my buck
Hmm.
in the movie, which we didn't get. And I do feel like after the end of the Fast and the Furious, there's probably a good chance you could roll right into Fast and the Furious Part 4.
Mm.
And maybe you have to tweak it just a little bit to get the continuity just right. But
Hmm.
for the most part, it shouldn't be that much work to have to do. So it, yeah, I, I, I don't feel like Tokyo Drift and um, Too Fast, Too Furious are 100% needed to further the franchise. But with all of that
They're
said, though, I can
not.
see. where they were trying to go,
Mm-hmm.
and at least they didn't paint themselves into a corner where there was no redemption because they tried for what a movie and a half, almost two movies to go a certain way with the franchise, and then they basically threw their hands up in the air and said "fuck it" and let's reinvent the wheel and bring it back to what made part one as successful as it was.
Mm-hmm.
Which like you said, there's three things that you need in a Fast and the Furious movie: family, cars, Corona.
Oh yeah. Well, and one
And
thing I will say they did very well because of these two movies is when they finally decided to change it up, you have these extra characters that they could draw from to go with that Ocean's 11 heist type feel that number five had. And then all of a sudden, here's Han from Tokyo Drift. Here's Tej and Roman from Too Fast, Too Furious. And that was cool as shit because you're seeing all the characters from all these movies interacting. It's like,
it's all bleeding together
yeah.
into a big master painting of this is what the studio wants you to believe they had planned from the jump. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not falling for that shit. I know good
Oh,
and hell
no,
well
no,
that's
we
not what
know.
the plan was in 2002 when they
Mhm.
started putting two together.
Yeah, yeah. When y'all
I'm
made
I was
Tokyo Drift,
born,
y'all knew
but I was
damn
not born
sure,
yesterday.
right? And nobody believed in y'all made Tokyo Drift with the idea in mind of this will be a sequel later. This movie set later in the timeline, and like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
get out of here with that. It wasn't until later you guys were like, well, wait, what if instead of explaining why Han's still alive, we just say he's alive because this happened before Tokyo Drift? Even though they still had to go
Yeah.
back later and explain why Han still lived, you know, I'm convinced that at some point in time in the fifth or sixth movie somewhere, one of two things happen. Either all the characters died and they're just having some big ass illusion, or they got doused with nano probes or something, because these motherfuckers don't die for shit. Everybody keeps coming back. You main character, you ain't dead. You're gonna come back. Just like I'm pretty sure John Cena's gonna be back. Like people
Oh,
in the
I'm
bed,
sure.
like everybody comes back in this franchise. I won't spoil anything for you because you ain't seen the later movies yet, Casey. But everybody comes back.
So I just basing it off of the first movie alone. I
Mm,
mean, you look at everything that Vin Diesel went through physically,
hmm.
through the car crashes and all of that, and he's still alive and kicking 10 movies
Oh yeah.
freaking later.
Hmm.
So there is all of that. For the most part, though, I mean, this movie has definitely grown on me over the last what 20 plus years since I first saw it. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, in the beginning, I didn't particularly care for it as much, and I'm not going to beat a dead horse with the reasons why because we've already talked about it. But um, yeah, I've definitely found, especially now that everything's been brought back full circle,
Hmm.
it definitely makes it feel a little bit more settled in my own mind where it's like, okay, I can see what you're trying to do big picture wise now. Yeah, maybe it's not 100% perfect in my mind, but I can see the grand scheme of things in the long run. And there definitely is a set, like, it's about family, it's about cars, it's about, all of that. It's not just some random, you know, action movie where people are running around, you know, robbing banks and robbing casinos or blowing shit up or whatever the case. I mean, there is some aspect of realistic story to the franchise,
Hmm.
and I feel like yeah, it may have taken a movie and a half to get back around to it, but at least they got back around to it. So there is that. So, was there anything else that you fell in love with about the movie? Eva Mendes.
Eva Mendes was great in the movie. I loved her character in it. You know, yeah, watching the movie, I was just like, man, Brian keeps pulling dimes every single time. But at the end of the day, Brian, he only has eyes for one girl for sure. Um, One of my favorite scenes in the movie, though, has got to be the scene where they drive the two cars, knowing they have the GPS in them, into the parking garage, and then Tej and his crew release a ton of racers. So you see these two cars go in, and all of a sudden, a ton of cars are coming out. And they switch to the muscle cars at that point.
A
I
thousand
love
cars
that.
come out.
Yeah, that scene's great. I know that cost a ton of money because they had to rent all those cars and film that. But that's one of my favorite scenes in the movie. I like that. Um, and I love the ending. I love the ending where they're both like, "I got money, cuz," like I love that part. There's a lot of good dialogue. It's a good popcorn movie. Like it's fun, it's entertaining. If you watch it and you put, like you said, you put the Vin Diesel thing out of your mind and just watch it for what it is, it's not a terrible movie. I think most of the hate it gets is the fact that it's a sequel that doesn't do the things that the first one did to make it work. But it's not a bad movie at all.
No, I would actually 100% agree. Like I said, over the last 20 plus years, it's definitely 100%
Mhm.
grown on me. So, you know, shout out to them for that. Um, at the
Mhm.
same time, you know, getting to that idea of if I was to give the movie a ranking out of five, what that's the catch 22 though, because it's like again, I don't hate the movie. It's definitely not my favorite movie in the franchise, but uh, it's definitely not the worst movie in the franchise. Like even with the payoff at the end of Tokyo Drift, I still have a hard time getting on board for Tokyo Drift. It just
And Tokyo Drift is silly at times. I think that Lucas Black, it's not a bad movie. I like it. The drifting is the best part. To me, the reason I like it the most, I like the drifting. I like the soundtrack. I like that it's more of a coming of age story, because it's an origin story. It's Lucas Black.
mhm.
We're watching him become the Drift King, DK. We'll get into it more when we talk about it eventually on Evening at the Movies. But I agree. I still feel like, even though I enjoy it more than most people do, I still feel like it's the worst movie in the franchise. Um, but two, I definitely don't think it's
Yeah.
that bad. Like I personally, for me, the original gets a four. The original 4 out of 5 for sure. Um, this one, I don't think it's good enough for 3.5, but it's not bad enough for a two or a three. So I'm gonna put it at 3.25 for my rating.
So yeah, that I was going back and forth in my mind between a 3 and a 3.5 only because there are clearly aspects of this movie that I wanted from the movie
Mhm.
that didn't deliver. again, Vin Diesel, um, and a little bit of there's this, that, and the other thing. There's just little things that add up that help bring that rating number down just a little bit more and more. So, like Vin, obviously, is the big hit to its score. Um, there's some other. I mean, there's times that it feels a little cheesy. It feels kind of, sort of half cocked, but at the same time, for the most part, it's still pretty entertaining. Um, I mean, it does its best to try and tie part two into part one because I mean, the one FBI agent is one of the FBI
Mhm.
agents from the first movie as well.
Yep. Yep. His boss from the first movie.
So, so yeah, I mean, they do at least make a little bit of effort to try and create that level of continuity. Um, is it 100% successful? Yeah, that's for the viewers to decide for themselves. I mean, for me personally, I think we're right in the right window with probably somewhere in the three and a quarter, 3.5 stars. So I'll 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 agree with you, and I'll go 3.25 out of 5.
Okay.
So it's definitely rewatchable. Is it rewatchable as much as some of the other movies in the franchise? Mm, probably not for me, but you know, I'll still. I probably won't wait another 10 plus years to watch the movie again. But you know, you win some, you lose some, and
Absolutely.
I mean, probably after the last movie comes out, I will probably go back to square one and go all the way through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way through 18, just because. But um, yeah, no, visually it's a good movie. It's got good action in it. You know, if you like
Mhm.
action type movies, then I definitely feel like you should check it out and give it a once over. If you enjoy it, maybe a twice or a three times over. You know, whatever. So,
No, I'm right there
was there
with
anything?
you.
Was there anything else you wanted to make sure we addressed before we got to wrapping up the hour?
Well, I always like to with this movie when thinking about Too Fast, Too Furious. I always like to think about the what if. Because I assume that some of what we got in Too Fast and Too Furious was what the original plan was when Vin Diesel was going to be on board. So I imagine the storyline would have had, maybe Vin Diesel hiding out in Miami, and Paul Walker's character still trying to come after him to make up for the fact that he let him go in the first place, and then them getting
Yeah,
tied up in Carter Verone stuff and having to work together. If anything, I feel like this could have taken the place of Fast and Furious. In that, I mean, we wouldn't have had the whole Let He Die storyline, but you could have included that in there somehow. Um, you know, but
yeah.
I feel like it would have been interesting. I think if
But
they
they
would have
did let
included
he
Vin
die
Diesel
though.
in it. I mean, like I said, nobody dies on this franchise. If you're a good guy, you're gonna come back eventually. Unless you're Weasel. The Weasel's
I mean,
dead.
it's a slasher franchise without having the slasher involved. You can't kill Vin
Hmm.
Diesel, just like you can't kill Michael Myers. You can't kill Freddy Krueger. You can't kill Jason Voorhees.
Hmm.
Although the
Or not
studios are
Weasel. I keep
trying.
calling him Weasel. I mean Jesse. I don't know why I call him Weasel. But yeah, Jesse in that movie, like That's one of the few characters that's dead and not coming back. Though I wouldn't be surprised if somehow he pops back up in the next movie. I
No, I that was one of those
mean, we
deaths.
did get Leon back.
True. And I didn't think that was happening either. So
Hmm.
I mean, Jesse definitely was the death, though, especially in the early stages of the franchise. That yeah, I didn't want to see happen, but I get why it had to happen because it helped show Toretto in that light of he's not just a heartless bad guy jacking trucks for all these electronics. You know, he is all about family and he cares about the people that are in his life and close to him. So, you know, if you have to sacrifice one for the greater good, who are you going to sacrifice? Are you going to sacrifice Leon, Letty?
I mean, Leon is one of the few people from the first movie that's still alive that haven't come back. Just we got Vince back in five. But
Yeah,
that would be great. I mean, I wouldn't mind, and I'm hoping. People have been trying to get him to come back for a while, Johnny Strong, um, but he's just not interested. But honestly, I would like to see him at least have some cameo. Like be sitting there at one of the family dinners in the backyard when the barbecue, drinking a Corona or something. Because I mean, he's part of the franchise. And he's still alive. We need to see him. But he's a big.
yeah. If you're going to end it, you need to end it the right way.
Mm-hmm. a
And
100%.
yeah, if at least if you're looking at it cinematically, if this next movie is going to be it, then you need to make sure you wrap it up and put a nice little bow on top of it and all of that and give the fans what they deserve because at the end of the day the fans have been here with you for 25 plus years by the time the movie comes out. So don't
Mm-hmm.
shit on the people that have lined your damn paycheck or lined your pocketbook
Nope. Just don't do it. Ain't
because
worth it.
well I know like you said too there's talk about potential series and all of that. The problem is in today's day and age with streaming and all of that, you can't always rely on that being a consistent. I mean, if you stumble a little bit when it comes to TV series, you're freaking canceled. You're gone off the app.
Oh,
So
a hundred
you have
percent.
to. If it's me and Universal, I'm looking at this next movie as we need to make sure we have a perfect ending, but still leave potential for these series going forward. I mean, the name of the franchise enough will probably be enough to keep you going for a little bit, but even like Star Wars nerds are even starting to stumble a little bit in their fandom when it comes to all the crap that Disney's trying to force down their throat nowadays with all of that. So just because you've got a name doesn't mean you're a lock for staying at the top of the damn game.
Oh, absolutely. And as big of a fan as I am, my mom's a bigger fan. My mom loves this franchise more than I love it. And both me and her
Seriously,
agree. Being as big
somebody
of
loves it
fans as
more
we
than
are.
you.
Yeah, yeah, my mama. My mama loves this franchise so much. Um, Me and her both really enjoy it. But me and her both also agree, like, this needs to be it. This last movie, that's it. Be done. You guys want to do a TV show, whatever, that's fine. The other TV show they did, the animated one, for a kid show, is pretty damn good. 5 full seasons. Each season, different area, definitely family, definitely
Hmm.
cars. No Corona because it's a kid show, but damn good show. The little spy racers. Um,
Sub out the Coronas for you, who
Something like that. I've seen 3 seasons, and then it just
you
was
could
too tedious
finish
for
the
me.
job and be at the barbecue and have a little yoo-hoo box in
Hmm.
your hand. Just,
But yeah, I mean,
Probably not,
honestly,
but
like, I mean, they could, you know, you's a good drink. But yeah, I mean, they just need to be done. This is it. You know, let the franchise die after this, and then give it about 10 years, and you guys can reboot it. You know, with Dom's kid or something. Who knows? But yeah, just
yeah.
leave it as it is. You know, and then let Brian and his cousins do some shit 10 years down the line when you guys decide, hey, we have this really good IP that we can still make money with. Leave the TV series alone. I can't even think of what you can do live action TV wise with Fast and Furious franchise that's going to make sense and going to be successful. You know, so
Well,
yeah,
no, because I feel
just
like
let.
parts of it's gonna you're gonna have to bring back part of what makes this franchise great
Mhm.
because you can't have the high level, high dollar explosions and car chases and all of them. You can to a certain extent, but not on the grand scheme of things. Because, like, yeah, like we said back at the beginning, this movie had a $76 million budget, and I'm guessing for the most part, most of that went to the cars and the effects and all of that. Because at the same time, most of these actors really did not have a huge name at the time. I mean,
They didn't. The only movie, yeah.
we're not very far out of Varsity Blues for Paul Walker,
Mm-mm.
and as far as I can remember, the only other thing that I can think of that I would put on the same level as that for him was Fast and the Furious One.
Yep.
You know, I don't think Tyrese had a huge filmography of a resume behind
No.
him.
All he had before this was Baby Boy.
Yeah, Cole Hauser didn't have a long resume behind him either. Um, Same for Eva Mendes. Yeah, some of the older grown-up actors probably had more of a history to them, but even then, they weren't like box office name on the marquee actors. So
Nope.
yeah. So, but yeah, to have to try and churn out. I mean, I if they're gonna do the TV series, I would, for me, I would probably prefer it to be like a limited series type or like a streaming series on one of the apps where they can just take
Yes.
a budget, dump it into this 8 to 12 episodes, and create this and try and draw as much money as they can off of this season. And then, depending upon the profit, then you move forward into a second season or a third season or whatever the case may be. Because if you're doing network and it's a week to week kind of thing, I don't see
Mm.
a lot of networks wanting to dump 50, 60, $70 million into one episode of one show in one season.
Well, and here's the thing: they
But
don't have to. I mean, if they go back to the roots of the first movie, which had a budget of 38 million, which is really small compared to
yeah,
most Hollywood pictures nowadays. I mean, even though it's 2001, um, decent budget. But if you go back to the roots, you make it more about the car racing, more about regular petty crime versus international super spy crime. You know, you could be very successful on a low budget. You know, with some practical stuff work. Um, you know, do something almost akin to Kung Fu, Kung Fu Returns. You know, have Brian Toretto, you know, grown in his teens trying to echo his own legacy, you know, with the Toretto name behind it, and go from there. I don't know, something.
I, if I'm going off of my own personal preference, though, I like your idea where let's let the franchise end at the end of this movie,
Hmm.
give it a few years, and then come back as like a legacy sequel series in like 7 to 10 years, and you can focus on the next generation of people in the Toretto family.
Yep.
It otherwise, I just don't see how it's going to be cost effective to keep bringing the same actors back over and over again,
No, not at all. Not
because
at
it's going to
all.
end up costing the network, the service, whatever they get on board with, a lot of freaking money, and which means you're going to have to
Hmm.
draw a huge freaking profit on a streaming market that is so out of whack right now. It's freaking ridiculous. You don't
It's
know
so out of whack.
what networks, or you don't know what services are where and what's merging with what. And oh dear Lord, I feel like in the next 5 years, streaming is going to change so much.
Oh, very much.
Not
Netflix is
necessarily
already
for the better.
considering going to channels. Like, oh, you're gonna add channels? How very 1990s of you.
Yeah, you're basically TV on the internet now.
Hmm.
So, all right. So, I think that should about cover Too Fast, Too Furious. Um, as always, before we go, though, I have to thank the amazing Unpopped Colonels for being here with us each and every week. All of you are incredible. You're amazing. We love you. We appreciate you, and all of the good stuff. Never any bad stuff. But yes, thank you again to Josh for stepping up and being willing to come on and help me cover the gap this week while Amanda's off doing her thing. I appreciate you,
Oh
bud.
yeah, always happy to lend a hand, man.
Um, so, where can the viewers find all of your wealth of podcast knowledge at?
All right, so you can find us anywhere you can find a podcast. YouTube, we're on Twitter, we're on Discord, we're everywhere. As my co-host Laura likes to say, all the places, all the things. Just type in Toontastic Journeys, you'll find us. We are on a summer hiatus. We'll be back in August with some new stuff. Well, or actually, probably not until September, but we'll be back soon with new stuff. But we got a lot. There's about 40 some odd episodes of us talking about all kinds of cartoons, all from over the place. Um, so definitely check that out.
I was
Outside of
on one
that,
of them.
yeah, Casey was. He was on one of our first episodes, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and hopefully we can get you on another one once we come back from hiatus. Uh, Also, you can find me on Masturbators doing our blind rankings all the time. And so just look that up as well, Masturbators. You can find us on TikTok and all the other places as well. And then you'll see me from time to time popping up on the evening at the movies and all the other network podcasts. Because I enjoy doing this. It's fun. I'm not on here to get famous. I'm on here just to have fun. It's like therapy for me. Great way to
To
start
get
the day
rich.
talking about movies. Oh yeah. But yeah, that's what we
Yeah,
find
we're
us.
all getting podcast rich.
Oh yeah. Rich and friends and family.
So, exactly. So, like I said in the opening, though, we've got we're putting a pin in Sing Along with Amanda month, and definitely she should be back to kick off Mystical and Magical August. So I will let you guys know next week what we've got coming up in August. But we have some great stuff planned, so stay tuned for that. But as of next week, though, we have Shanna will be here with us for Stardust, and Harvey will be here with us a week later for Match Point. So stay tuned for all of that as well. Again, I want to thank the listeners for being here with us. You guys are awesome. Um, again, thank you, Josh. I appreciate it more than words can say. Um, and this was a fun episode. I'm glad we finally got to get back to talking about because it feels like it's been 8 or 9 years since we've talked about a Fast and the Furious movie. Even though I know it hasn't been that long
Mhm.
because an evening at the movies isn't even 6 yet. So, but uh, let's do it again. Only not take so long to get back to one of the movies. I feel like because Amanda said that this actually was one of her favorite Fast and the Furious movies. So, if I remember correctly, she's not as big of a Tokyo Drift fan, but I don't think a lot of people are a big Tokyo Drift fan. So, all right, all of that aside, but yeah, great episode. Um, and I look forward to seeing everybody back here next week. I will let you guys know when Shannon and I set the date and the time for the live. Otherwise, if you can't join us live, as always, episodes drop Friday mornings, first thing in the morning, YouTube, wherever you get your podcast listening fix. You guys know the drill. But yeah, so we will see you guys next week, and we hope you guys all come back for an evening at the movies. Have a good week, guys. Vote for Harvey.